Donald Trump and First Lady alongside Vice President J.D. Vance. Gunshots were heard in the White House. The shooter was identified. Yours, especially America. You've been hearing Donald Trump getting involved in different peace agreements, signing different peace agreements. But M23 is still carrying on fights in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Congo is still accusing Rwanda of being a very great supporter of M23. Peace agreement almost solved nothing. America and your fellow countries, you pretend to give or to ensure the security for African countries, signing peace agreement while you are not even able to ensure your security. It is going to serve as the sign for African countries that even those that we rely on to give us peace or to help us to get peace, they are not at peace. Their security is even more than enough. But African countries, unite, work together. You will be able to solve problems, millions of problems that will never be solved by foreign. Mali's defense minister Sadio Kamara has reportedly been killed. A series of coordinated jihadist attacks carried out across multiple regions of the country. That is Africa we want. That is Africa each and every African would desire to live in. Alright, you have smashed 8. I'm talking to you who have already subscribed on this channel, Foreigners Talk Rwanda. You're most welcome, baby. Hey, specifically and especially, you're welcome again from wherever you are watching us from. I'm on this. This is your man, Don the Great on it. Hey, welcome. Let's dive into this story that's been trending around as I promised you that it will be looking at different international political analysis today. Let's fly together from wherever we are to the United States of America, not in America only, but right in the State House. How do we call that? That is called the White House. Are you there? Are you ready to go there with me? Hey, guess what happened there? Hey, it was today Donald Trump and First Lady alongside Vice President J.D. Vance again and again have escaped assassination attempt. It was during the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Gunshots were heard in the White House during that event. The shooter was identified. His name is Corey Aaron. He's 31-year-old and he is from California. Let's talk about this. These countries from overseas, I'm talking about the countries that are not located on the continent of Africa. You know what? Especially America, you pretend to secure African countries. You get it, to ensure it is their security, while you are not even able to ensure yours. Especially America. You've been hearing Donald Trump getting involved in different peace agreements, signing different peace agreements, but diving into that or deep checking into it, what does those peace agreement has been signing achieved? For example, let's come back in East Africa in the issue of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. They signed peace agreement. What did that peace agreement achieve? When you look at it carefully, it almost achieved nothing, because what they were signing peace agreement for is still in existence. Fights are still going on in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The rebels, M23, is still carrying on fights in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Congo is still accusing Rwanda of being a very great supporter of M23, and peace agreement they signed with Donald Trump. When I say they were His Excellency President Paul Kagame and His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi Chilombo of the Democratic Republic of Congo alongside Donald Trump. You watched that, you saw that. But the peace agreement achieved nothing. The peace agreement almost solved nothing. Then the question to ask ourselves here today is this: America and your fellow countries, you pretend to give or to ensure the security for African countries, signing peace agreement while you are not even able to ensure your security. This assassination attempt that took place in the White House during this White House Correspondents' Dinner, it is going to serve as the sign for African countries that even those that we rely on to give us peace or to help us to get peace, they are not at peace. How can you explain this? That in the White House, in the White House, that such kind of incidents have taken place. How can you explain this? Their security is tight. Their security is even more than enough. But over that, this kind of incidents takes place. How comes? How comes? That is why I'm telling African countries to open your eyes. African leaders, the presidents and the heads of state, open your eyes. The people that you are relying on to ensure your security, they are not at peace as well. How many times? Let me dig down. Let me dig into this again. This issue of the United States of America, especially on President Donald Trump, who praises himself, who stands and defends that he's a peacekeeper. How many times did he face these assassination attempts? There are almost 3 times, very serious 3 times. You know them. You go back and recheck, double check back in the days. This is the 3rd time. This was the 3rd time. The people who blinds you, who blinds your eyes, who bribes your mind and stand there and tell you that he's there to keep the security, to ensure that the security of your countries is okay. Even him is not at peace. He's been almost killed 3 times. 3 times. The president of the United States of America. It is not the president of another certain state of Africa, because those countries overseas, they think that African countries, they are weak. African countries, they almost nothing. For them, they compare themselves big fishers, you know. You get what I'm saying. But even the king of peace, that's how he calls himself, the peacekeeper, has been escaping assassination attempts many times. This is the 3rd one. So that is why I was saying that this must serve as a warning to the African countries that relies on Donald Trump as their peacekeeper. Even him, he's not at peace. What are you waiting for? I always say this: African countries, unite, work together. You will be able to solve problems, millions of problems that will never be solved by a foreigner. That will never be solved by a foreigner. But the only thing to do, the only very fundamental thing to do is to unite. United Nations of Africa. I repeat this, United Nations of Africa. The day that dream will come true is the day you will see that African countries, you lost a march, you lost a road, you lost time, you squandered your time over the people who you expected to give you peace, while even themselves they are not at peace. It is not only that. Today, as we speak, in Mali, let's come back here in Africa. In Mali, the Minister of Defense was killed. Mali's Defense Minister Sadio Kamara has reportedly been killed. A series of coordinated jihadist attacks carried out across multiple regions of the country. Jihadists are the ones, it was said that they are the ones who played a very big role in the death of the Mali's Minister of Defense, whose name was Sadio Kamara. What initially appeared to be another surge in insurgent activity has now revealed itself as something far more audacious, a direct strike at the very core of Mali's military compound. Can you imagine this? This is what it means. This is what his death means. These attacks were not random. This is another thing you must know. These attacks were not random. They were synchronized, strategic, and chillingly effective. I tell you, it is not easy for someone from outside to come in the country, or even if he is already in the country, but it is not easy for someone to attack and kill someone who is bigger in the country like this. So the death of Kamara is a central figure in Mali's security architecture and a key player in its ongoing counter-terrorism efforts. It marks a turning point that cannot be dismissed as a routine instability. You get this? Beyond the immediate loss, this moment carries deeper implications. It raises urgent questions about intelligence gaps, internal vulnerability, and the evolving strength of militant networks operating within Mali and the broader Sahel region. The death of Sadio would serve as a very great deterrent to you, that in your military sometimes you have malicious people. You have snitches. You get this? So Africa, let's be watchful. Africa, let's be careful. Africa, let us unite. Africa, let's listen to one another without listening. Let us just listen to one another more than we listen for strangers. Let us listen. Let us care for one another. Achieve the fact of unity, and after that unity, I tell you, we will achieve more. That is Africa we want. That is Africa each and every African would desire to live in. This is the Foreigners Talk Rwanda. I am your man, Don the Great. Thank you for having been with me in today's update. See you next time, baby. I'm really hoping to see you and to meet you on this screen again. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more and more updates. See you next time.